Hello everyone, my name is Joe, welcome to G Joe. Today guys, we'll be discussing aperture. More specifically, what aperture you should use in your portraits. But before we start guys, I just want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Joe, of course. I'm a professional portrait photographer looking to help other portrait photographers like yourself not only improve, but to start making work that actually stands out to the rest of the competition and land more clients. So if that seems interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel, and once I've gained your trust, top links in the description is my one-to-one portrait photography coaching program. See, it's changed or interrupted my thing, like whatever, right? Where I will personally go on calls with you, I'll critique your portrait work, and I'll just give you any general portrait photography advice that I have gained over multiple years of experience, so you can start accelerating your portrait photography progress now rather than later. So again guys, if you're interested in that, top links in the description so you can check it out and learn more. Okay, so back to the topic, right? What aperture is best for your portraits? Well, it depends on the photo taking scenario that you're in. So for me, the best apertures to use for outdoor locations or for any location where there's a lot of things going on, I like to use the widest aperture possible. So f2, f2.8, f4. I believe the more bokeh in those type of photos, the better, because not only does it add more depth and more interest to the photo, it actually separates the model from the background more, which helps you to not get distracted from the environment around them. So for example, about a month or so back, I did this shoot with one of my model friends in the woods, and for basically the whole shoot, I shot at f2. Even when I was getting wider shots, which most of the shots, by the way, in that shoot was wide shots. And also I was shooting at 85mm, so I had a lot of bokeh even quite far away. So my intention actually was to make the location and the environment around him a character within himself, if it's a him, I don't know, it's mother nature, so technically it's a her, right? So I wanted the environment to be a character within itself, within the portraits obviously, but I didn't want to distract it from the model itself. So that's why I shot at f2, so I would separate them from the background, and that means the model wouldn't blend in with the environment and the scene. Or this shoot I had a couple of weeks back with the model in Birmingham City Centre, where again, it was quite dense environment, there's a lot of things going on, so I shot at f2 so they wouldn't blend in with the background and your eyes would lead to them. However though, for studio environments, especially ones with a plain backdrop, I like to do the opposite. I'm shooting around f5.6 or f8. Why, you may ask? Well, with studios with a plain backdrop, there's literally no benefit to shooting at f2 or all these wider apertures, because there's nothing in the background to separate the model from. And I found if I shoot at f2 or f2.8, especially for full body shots, I noticed that like only their face is fully sharp, but when you get to the bottom of their outfit, it gets slightly soft. So for example, a couple of weeks ago, I shot this Doc Martens commercial spec ad type of shoot, and for basically almost all the shots, or at least for the full body shots and the mid shots, I was shooting at f5.6 or f8. And it was because I wanted the whole body to be in focus and sharp. And this is especially important if you're shooting products. But this could also apply to your normal shoots too, so not just commercials. So if you want to do those full body shots and you want them all to be in focus, then you would want to shoot at f.6 or f8 or maybe even f11. Even if you're doing close-ups, if you want the whole face to be in focus, you would probably want to use those tighter apertures. But you may like the bokeh that you get when you shoot those close-ups. If that's the case, you want to shoot wider apertures. Again, I'm not saying you're forced to shoot at f8 or f5.6. It's more of just a suggestion. It's more of just a suggestion to get sharp photos. But for full shots and mid shots in studios, especially ones again with plain backgrounds, there's literally no benefit at shooting at f2 or f2.8, because if you're shooting full shots, right, you probably want the whole model to be in focus, so shoot at those tighter apertures. But for studios with a whole set design and like cool little scene going on, I like to still shoot at f5.6 or f8. I feel like I said that so many times, 5.6, f8 throughout this whole video. But yeah, I like to shoot at those tighter apertures because I want, again, everything to be in focus. And because if I'm in a studio with a set design, most likely that set design and that the decorations and the production design probably will add to my photos, so I want to show that off. The aperture also depends on the look or the story or the theme you're going for in your photos. So if you're going for this more surreal look, or it's more dreamy and the creamy bokeh type of look, you may actually want to shoot at f2, f2.8, or even wider than that, like f1.4 or something, if your lens can do that. But if you're like me and you like to go for that more fashion look, a more like high fashion editorial look, you may want to obviously have everything in focus at that point. So you might want to shoot at f5.6 or f8. But also you have to be mindful with your lighting too, right? So if you're shooting at f8, a lot less light is going to enter the sensor and into your photo. So you may need to use more powerful lights if you're in a studio, or you want to use a location with a lot of light and it's quite bright. However, obviously if you're shooting at f2, you have much more flexibility of where you can shoot, because obviously now if you're using a studio, you don't need to use that many as powerful lights. Also, if it's too bright, if you're in a quite bright scenario like outdoors, just bump the shutter speed up. Again, it's not video, we have to keep it at a certain shutter speed. You don't need ND filters. Just bump the shutter speed up as high as possible until you get the right exposure. And it's quite good in low light situations too, because again, when you're shooting at f2 or those wider apertures, you're letting in a lot more light into the sensor and into your photo. Again guys, it's up to you and it's just a personal preference at the end of the day. Anyway guys, that is it for the video. Thank you for watching. Guys, comment down below, what is your favorite aperture to use? That sounds really fucking nerdy when I say that. Well, what is your favorite aperture to use? What is your favorite aperture to use? Do you like to use the wider apertures? You like the tighter apertures? Let me know in the comments below. Again guys, like I said in the intro, top links in the description is my one-to-one portrait photography coaching program. So again, if you want more personal advice beyond these YouTube videos and you want to learn even more about these, maybe like what settings you should use in your photo taking scenario, or anything really to do with portrait photography, again guys, link below. We can get talking tomorrow. We can get talking today. If you watch this video, you got the coaching program. We could be talking the same day you buy it. We don't know, whatever. It's up to you. Well, check it out in the link below if you want to learn more. But these YouTube videos are still quite good for you anyway. Also, if you want to learn more about portrait lighting, specifically studio lighting with your model, that's linked below. I have a video course, lighting video course, which is linked below, where I'll go over all the basics of lighting. So I go over lighting techniques, I go over color temperature with the lights, I go over strobes, continuous lighting, hard lighting, soft lighting, all these differences, all comparisons, examples, all that type of stuff. So if you want to learn the basics of lighting and you're just starting out in studio or anything like that, this course is definitely for you. So again guys, there's a link below if you want to check that out. And also, if you're struggling with the basics of your camera, so like aperture, shutter speed, ISO, we've been talking about aperture throughout this whole video, so if you're struggling with that, I have a free exposure triangle guide video course where I will go over not only how these settings work, but how to actually approach the setting depending on this photo taking scenario that you're in. So if you want this guide, all you need to do is go on my website, which is linked below, scroll down a bit, see this little block, put your name, email address in, click, get your guide. I'll send you that guide for free. Anyway guys, that's it for the video. Click on any of these videos here to learn more about portrait photography. And I'll see you next time guys. Goodbye. Boom, bitch.